Hello and welcome into the show, everyone. I am Preston Poole alongside Tyler Adams on not a good day. Not a good day in Oklahoma sports history. If you are an Oklahoma State fan, not a good day for quarterbacks if you're an Oklahoma fan. We're going to talk all about it. I even made us a little fancy ticker here that'll run across to remind us every now and then. I do want to say that this is a safe space for Oklahoma State fans. Get in here. No matter what take you have, we're not going to call you crazy. Just spit the takes out. Get in the chat. Let us know what you're thinking right now. Mike Gundy gets fired as head coach of the Oklahoma State Cowboys after 21 years as the head coach. T-Bag, you are a resident Oklahoma State guy. I'll let you take it from here.
First of all, I wanted to start by, as the reminder that we need to do every show, that do not forget that the Oklahoma City Thunder are 2025 NBA World Champions. Don't forget that, to all of our listeners out there, whether you're a Cowboy or a Sooner, because we'll get to the OU news, obviously. But the story of the day, I can't believe it, Preston. We knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. And I can't believe it. I have so many thoughts that I just know when we're done with the show, I'm gonna want to text you, be like, "Hey, let's hop back on. I got more takes to give off."
I'm
not gonna get everything off
for me. Yeah, this was a no notes day for me. I knew exactly what we were gonna talk about. As what 11:30, 12 o'clock this afternoon. I knew, and then of course around 3:30 or so. The other news drops. So, but let's all be honest. Mike Gundy, the bigger news, the bigger story. Like Gideon Hamilton said earlier, one of the biggest stories in the last decade, sports-wise here in the state of Oklahoma. I mean, you would put
Kevin Durant, Lincoln Riley, and probably this.
I would put Bob Stoops
retiring. Yeah,
Bob
Stoops retiring.
Would probably be close to number one. I think
Lincoln Riley leaving is number one.
Yeah. That could,
because Kevin Durant, we knew that was an option. Mike Gundy, we knew was a possibility. The Bob Stoops, Lincoln Riley came out of nowhere. Lincoln Riley was there was rumors and stuff, but it was never USC. But yeah, Preston, today's the end of an era, and I'm gonna be a little sentimental. I'm not gonna lie. This era of football is my life of college football. It has been my experience of college football as a Mike Gundy era. I mean, I grew up going to games and stuff, but 2008 was the year I got bought into Oklahoma State football. I remember when we beat Missouri. I remember where I was when that happened, and it grabbed me by the and I never looked back. And I mean, that was Mike Gundy's first I'm here win. Mm-hmm. And and I was 9 years old when that happened. I was 6 years old when he was hired, or 5 years old when he was hired. I was 5, and here we are. It's sad. I don't know any other way to put it. It's the right call, I would say. Now we can get into the timing. I'm not a fan of this timing whatsoever.
Yeah.
The game was Friday. It's Tuesday. You made him do a weekly presser. The team has spent 2 or 3 practice days focusing on Tulsa with Mike Gundy as their head coach. It's Tuesday of a game week before you go to conference play. Just not the right timing, in my opinion. And then just on top of everything, with all that being said, I do think, it's probably time to move on. But I'm sentimental more than anything today because Mike Gundy's my guy. I've been ride or die with him. I have gone to war for that guy since I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
It has been the one constant in my sports life that has legitimately been – there's 2 constants in my sports life. Sam Presti is the general manager of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and Mike Gundy is the head coach of Oklahoma State football. Those have been the 2 constants, and how lucky am I that those have been constants for this long in my sports life. And it sucks. It ends this way. It's sad. It ends this way. No one wanted to see it in this way. I mean, you thought your dog, your dog was 8 years old. And you thought, hey, we still got 2 or 3 solid years, and then 2 or 3 years of just being old.
Yeah.
No, that the dog got sick and went downhill fast.
Yeah.
Fast, and it just sucks.
Well, I mean, Gideon said what?
Man.
Imagine what was it? 2021? No, 20. Whenever they lost in the Big 12 championship game to Texas. What?
23.
15 games later, Mike Gundy is no longer the head coach.
I have a video on my Twitter, and I'm going to tweet it out later because I thought of it 10 minutes before we started the show. So I need to go back and find that. I got a Twitter from a video I remember I put on Twitter last year. It was this week 2, the week of the Arkansas game.
Yeah.
Week 2 of 2024. OSU wins that game in triple overtime off a crazy comeback, and that's when everyone thought OSU was so good. And I made a video. I was like, that's what Mike Gundy teams do. Like, this team has that Mike Gundy factor in them.
Yeah.
Like, that's a culture program win. Like, that's how Mike Gundy likes it. Like, this team's going to be good. And a record of 2-12 since then, or something like that, with your 2 wins over UT Martin and Tulsa, which you lost to Tulsa.
Yeah, yeah. It's
not
good.
It's quite the day.
Yeah, let's talk about the timing a little bit, because obviously, again, you mentioned Friday game against Tulsa. They dropped that one, which back-to-back weeks you have probably the worst losses in Oklahoma State history. That one to Oregon, and then obviously losing to Tulsa for the first time in Stillwater since 1951 is another big loss. And you think there, all right, if he makes it through Sunday, then he's going to be the coach for the rest of the season after that point. And then he goes Monday and does all his regular weekly, press conferences, coaches show, yada, yada, yada. And then this morning they were just like, yep, no, fired. And now he's gone. So, I mean, just what's your opinion on the timing? Do you think there might be anything else there for the, sudden just flip or anything like that? Got the windy
fingers. What happened between yesterday at 12:45 when he was done with his press conference and today at 11:30? What happened in those 23 hours? I would love to know, because the timing is, if you wanted to fire him Saturday, Sunday after Tulsa, all right.
Makes
on
sense.
A Tuesday?
Yeah.
In the middle of a game week because you're prepping for conference play? That makes no sense. To do it also kind of this early, too, whenever a lot of these guys can take a red shirt and hit the portal, doesn't really make a lot of sense. Sounds like there might be some depth issues coming up shortly. And so the portal ramifications. And also, I know we'll talk about but the Chad Weinberg press conference, and I'm not ripping on Chad. Chad's in a very tough position. So I can't be critical of the position he's in. But Chad sounded today when he was in his press conference, Oklahoma State AD, Chad Weinberg, like a guy that just learned within the last 12 hours, hey, Mike Gundy, the guy you've worked side by side with for years and have a very close personal relationship with tomorrow. That guy. Yeah, you're going to have to fire him tomorrow morning. And then right after, we're going to make you go in front of the media and address it.
Yeah.
To keep your job. I'm not saying that's what happens. No. I haven't heard, and I don't want to be like, well, I heard T-Bag say this on the Unadvised podcast. No, I'm a fan right now, guys. Yeah. I'm not T-Bag from the sports fan. I'm Tyler Adams, the Oklahoma State football fan. This is just like my conspiracies, my everything. Chad Weinberg's press conference made me like go full conspiracy tinfoil.
No, I mean,
it's happening.
As an outsider, T-Bag, I was listening to it because we aired it on the sports animal. I'm listening to it. I'm like, is someone behind like the screen there with like a gun pointed at him? Like, it just didn't sound like it was something that came from him, right? The words that were coming out of his mouth were not words that he wanted to speak. They were words that someone else wanted him to speak.
It sounds like he had his hand forced against him to make some decisions.
Yeah.
That's what he sounded like. And I put that on Twitter. I said, Chad Weiberg sounds weird. Like this, it's off. It's not reassuring whatsoever. Like I don't feel more confident. Like I feel excited about what the future. There's only one thing to do is that's be excited about the future. If not, just throw in the towel. Like I have my realism about what's going on at Oklahoma State, but I'm going to choose to be excited. But I tweeted out before I tweeted out, like, this Weiberg press conference sounds weird. I texted a guy we work with, Preston. I texted a guy we work with, and I said, "This sounds weird, right?" And they're like, "Oh yeah." I don't want to out their name or anything. Not that it's some secret. It's a guy we work with. And then I texted my buddies in my group text, my OSU friends, and I said, "This sounds weird, right? Like I'm not the only one hearing this. Like this does sound weird." And like I got a bunch of responses like, I don't feel reassured. Like what the hell's going on? And like blah blah. So like everyone can see it. I feel like that's just like it feels like there's just a massive ego trip between the board of regents, the donors, all this, and they're just making rash, crazy decisions. And again, firing Mike Gundy, letting go of Mike Gundy, moving on is not dumb. Like that's not the dumb part of all this. Like that is the okay, makes sense. Probably time to move on. The way this has been handled, going back to December 6, 2024, when we had that infamous day, the way this has been handled from day one has been a total bleep show. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's a shame that the alums have to deal with this without it. Like the alums like me, that aren't in there on the big meetings. It's a shame that we're having to deal with this from the outside and feeling helpless. It's a shame from the national standpoint that this is the route you're taking as a football program. And it's a shame when the next coach comes in here and they're going to give him all this money and have these crazy, unrealistic expectations. And when he doesn't live up with them, they're going to start meddling in the middle of the process. And then they're going to fire him. And then the next coach is going to be rinse and repeat. It sounds like we got 15 Jerry Jones all around Stillwater, Oklahoma, trying to run things, Preston. And that is the part where I'm like, what the hell is going on? Am I crazy? Like anyone out there listening, am I crazy? Because this is what it feels like. It feels like one giant conspiracy.
No, I think you're 100% right, because as an outsider, and I don't think the rest of the country knows this about Oklahoma State, but their athletic department is a mess right now. Not just football. I mean, through and through, it feels like. And yeah, it sounds like Weiberg is going to get a contract extension. I know today he basically said that we're not here to talk about that at the moment when he was asked about it. But I know there are some reports out there that he is going to sign one. But still, yet I mean,
he was blindsided when they asked him that today. By the way, did you hear that part?
Oh, 100%. I don't think he knew that.
He's like, whoa.
Well, I don't think he knew that it had been reported like that. That stuff was out there.
No, he did not know. He was blindsided by that. You could tell that was his brain was like, answer this in the most politically correct way possible.
Yeah.
Which he did a bunch of times, because there's the other part in the press conference where what was the exact quote? I gotta go. I don't want to misquote anyone on this, Preston. I gotta go find this.
So I mean, yeah, obviously, I think it was time for Mike Gundy to go, but the timing of the firing is a little suspect to me, because look, what's the matter, or what's the difference, T-Bag, if you fire him in December after the very last game of the season, or November, whenever it is, or today? You're still going to pay him the $15 million, right? Mm-hmm. Because you have to wait till January 1st to pay him the $10 million. So you're still going to pay him the $15 million. But now everything just looks like a shit show, to be, completely honest with you, where they fire him after 3 games. The best head coach that the university has ever had. I think that he deserves to probably finish out the season, but I also understand, like, it's kind of like, all right, let's just rip the Band-Aid off now. And maybe it looks bad for a little bit, and we regroup once the season's over with, or towards the end of the season when we find the guy that we want to hire as new head coach. But from the outside looking in, it just looked like a mess in Stillwater right now.
And again, it's like firing him mid-season. Like if he's not going to resign. Also, before we get to it, the Weiberg quote that really threw me off today. He was asked today if he got donor support for buying out Gundy's contract. So they're like, did you get donor support for buying out Gundy's contract? He said, I did not ask for donor support with this buyout.
So someone else
saying,
did, but it wasn't him.
Someone I wasn't the one asking for it, but you don't know.
Yeah.
Or they, whoever it was. If it was multiple people, one person. Yeah, if like firing him mid-season is, if he's not going to resign, or if he's like, hey, I'm coaching or I'm fired, and you got to fire him, that's fine. I get it. But maybe do this on a Saturday after the game.
Yeah. Not on a Tuesday during the middle of the week.
Not on a Tuesday after you guys all meet up at wherever you were, country club or wherever you guys all were last night, allegedly, and all had, drinks and dinner and, decided, hey, let's fire Gundy in the morning on just a random Monday night. Like, that's the part where I'm baffled. That's the part where I'm mad. And it shows a lot of the dysfunction and lack of there's basic sports knowledge. I think we all just know as fans, Preston Pool. And I think firing a coach on Tuesday is just like something you don't really think about. But if you kind of like follow football and just semi-know football, you're like, hey, when you're prepping for a team, like Tuesday and Wednesday, like the most important weeks you have. That's like the middle. It's whatever, you can practice the hardest. Like those are the most important weeks. And you're going to wait 3 full days after the game you lost and fire him in the middle of prepping for Baylor. Like that's the part where it's like, you don't know ball. You don't know ball, Board of Regents. You don't know ball. Because anyone that knows ball goes, hey, maybe let's wait till Saturday after they lose. Like, let's just let him coach this game, because what does it matter? What's the 5 days at this point? But nope. Had to be done today. Had to be done today.
So I'm just trying to go look back at some of these quotes from reporters. Pete Nakos had one that I thought was pretty good. I need to go back here. Says entering the weekend, sources told On3 Sports that Mike Gundy would be given the chance to coach the rest of the 25 season out of respect for what he built in Stillwater. That clearly changed the final 24 hours of his tenure. So there had to be something that happened.
Weiberg said that wasn't true. So I don't know if I believe Weiberg. Like Weiberg could just I don't know why he lied about that. So I don't know. That's a he said moment.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I could see a world, Preston, where he was offered to coach the rest of the season, and Mike Gundy was like, "No, F off. Like, I'm not doing that." So I could see a world where this went sour, but like I understand if this went sour, like this was not going to be a clean breakup with the way you guys Mike didn't handle it gracefully, but if you know Mike Gundy's not going to go down without a fight. Like,
no, he's going out on his own terms.
Who we kidding with? You act like this guy was just going to like surrender? Like, do we know Mike Gundy, guys? That's just the whole thing. It's just like one of those things where it's like, hey, I feel like I could have talked to Gundy, over the last couple seasons, and probably, I probably could have just worked his way out the door for you guys. Like, I feel like I know how to talk him out of it. Be like, dude, come on. But instead, they just want to fight with the guy and cause like ego clashes and make it all worse.
It was definitely interesting day of radio here in Oklahoma City. You had one guy call in who was an OU fan, saying that he was, thinking about his wife who was an OSU fan, and then he immediately asked if Oklahoma was working on the Texas game plan.
That right there, ladies and gentlemen, I was listening to that, Preston, and my first thoughts to myself was like, this is why sports talk radio can never be replaced.
Yeah.
That was a one-of-a-kind phone call. This guy just called in and was like, you guys think they're already prepping for OU Texas?
Hey, I know that other school and all their fans are wanting to get there.
Yeah, I know 20 minutes ago, the biggest coach in Oklahoma State history just got fired, but I'm going to ask about OU's bye week and if they're prepping for Texas already.
Yeah, that was gold.
The best. Because I think he was genuine too. Like this
guy was 100%.
This guy was not trying to be a hater or a troll. Yeah. He was just straight up like, no, like, are we prepping for Texas already?
Probably also the same guy that calls and asks what channel the game is on as well, if I had to guess. But
Sports Channel, we will talk to so and so. Now, what channel's the OU game on this weekend?
What
ABC.
Channel,
all right, thanks.
Literally, yes, yeah. That happens more than you would think. A lot more than you would think. And obviously, it might be a little too early at this point to think of like who's up next. Doug Meacham is going to be the interim head coach, though, through the rest of this season. And it sounds like they're going to shell out some more money to get rid of some other coaches as well.
It's
After
like about
giving
24
them,
million
yeah,
altogether. Yeah. So maybe there is magical NIL money coming our way. That'd be awesome. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it. I'm not denying there isn't. I'm not denying that people have been pissed off enough to not give out all this money. But are we talking we're going to spend 24 million on to fire a coaching staff, to spend like 25 million on a new coaching staff, and then spend 30 million on a roster like everyone's talking about we're going to do? Like, are we just going to spend $80 million this offseason?
Yeah.
Or if we are, and we got the money, that changes things. That changes things if that's what's happening. I don't think that's happening, though.
Yeah. No, 100%. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Still, a lot of time left with all this. I keep trying to think of things that come to my head about this. See Aaron on YouTube. So maybe we won't see the Gundy offense against Baylor. Something tells me that you're going to see the same football team that you've seen the last year and 3 weeks.
Over under half a win the rest of the season.
I would probably say under. I mean, come on. Just like you mentioned, there's going to be guys that are freshmen, sophomore that can save a year of eligibility, and they hit the portal here in the next couple of days.
And they can transfer to that school and practice.
Yeah,
that's the thing. They can literally go transfer to OU or Kansas or Texas or Baylor, wherever, and go and practice.
They just can't play since they've already played
for
Oklahoma State this year.
It's
so
a crazy world, man. I will say, Preston.
Go ahead.
Oklahoma State plus the points this weekend. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to win because they're not, but the boys give a little rallying cry fight and cover the 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, so right now, depending where you look, it's 21.5 to 20.5 dogs that they are.
I mean, 37-17's covering, and that's a blowout.
We'll see. At home against Baylor, crowd size. What are you thinking crowd size?
Okay, my prediction, I think the crowd is going to be like sold to the brim out. Like, I really do think this is going to be a rallying cry weekend. It's a Saturday at 2:30, great weather. I think the crowd's going to be awesome because I think this is when you have to unite together. It is like whether you're there's always like little civil wars amongst fans when crazy things like this happen.
Yeah,
and you have people that are totally on like one side of the spectrum or the other. And then obviously you have the ones in the middle, and so you're always going to get that with fans. There's always going to be fans that disagree, just like anything in life. I mean, we see it in our world all the time. But I think this is when we're like, what's done is done. What's done is done. Let's go, and let's go support the Cowboys this weekend.
And they'll get that chance at 2:30 on Saturday at home, or you can watch it on ESPN2. We'll see if they get the NIL link fixed anytime soon, and maybe I'll slide my $5 in for the new head coach for whenever they roll into town. Someone did mention Bixby seems to have a good pipeline of talent. Why not go for their coach? You want to dip into the high school ranks to get a head football coach? It's won 7 state championships in a row.
Can I address something? The Bixby coach, sure. Like, I wouldn't love the hire, but I would convince myself of that. For sure. For sure I would. Not even close.
He knows
the one
how to recruit.
hire, I love the guy I'm about to mention. He would keep the fun and the spark in Stillwater. But can we please, and I mean please for the love of God, stop with the John Gruden talk?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, guys,
Gruden,
if we're going to rely on this is the most important hire in Oklahoma State history. Then if this guy fails, the next hire will be the most important hire in Oklahoma State history. And then you're in a never-ending cycle. It's like Oklahoma State basketball right now. Every Oklahoma State basketball hire is like, this is the most important hire in Oklahoma State basketball history. That's where we're at right now. So this is the most important hire in Oklahoma State history until the next hire, whenever that is.
Yeah.
Don't put all chips in on John Gruden, please. No, like I want my coach's age to start with a 3. I want there to be like or early 40s or 30s. That's what I'm looking for. Give me a young gun. Come on.
Maybe a Ben Arbuckle.
I didn't say it.
That's the first thing that came to my mind whenever Mike Gundy got fired. Thinking, look, the up and coming offensive coordinator at Oklahoma looks like he's turned things around. But I don't know if I know OSU fans are gonna hate this. I feel like he could probably get a better job.
That's not an unfair criticism.
Yeah. I mean, now if Gundy retired 5 years ago, it's a different story, right?
I'll say this: I pride myself on 2 things, Preston, because I have to work at it. I pride myself on being a realist about what Oklahoma State is.
Yeah.
Especially working in the industry we do, and one school has to get more coverage than the other. I totally get it. I'm a realist on everything Oklahoma State and all that stuff. I'm also do a good job of trying to blind my previous feelings about the University of Oklahoma into a more professional light. There was once a time where I would not be so nice about that certain school. Now I've really done a good job. Be like, hey, you have a job here to do. You got to see it different. I feel like I've done a really good job. I'm very proud of myself for that. So I put myself in Ben Arbuckle's shoes, and this is me proving my point to both of the things I'm about to say.
Yeah.
If I'm Ben Arbuckle and I'm making $2 million a year to be the offense coordinator at Oklahoma, I'm going to enjoy that until an SEC school calls me.
Yeah, like Ole Miss or something like that.
Yeah, I'm going to be the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma until an SEC school offers me a job. I would totally understand if he does not take this job.
Harry says
credit me for being a realist. Credit me.
Harry says no. His wife is a diehard Sooner. Their first date was in Norman when they played. Harry, that doesn't matter when the paychecks start hitting the bank.
None of that matters. Here's the thing. Say wait, what about Oklahoma State and stuff and their budgets? Mike Gundy has always gotten paid very handsomely as a head coach.
Oh yeah,
they can go to Ben Arbuckle and be like, how does $8 million a year sound, buddy?
And
it would be hard probably for him to turn down at 30 years old. No, it probably might, but if they really wanted to, they probably could. And that's the thing. If they have their eyes dead set on someone, I do believe that Oklahoma State will go in on financially for a coach because they have always for Gundy.
Yeah.
And I know the NIL and the bio, it's hard. It's easier said than done right now. But I really do think there's about to be a rallying cry. Try to be optimistic.
Aaron does say Aaron says last time Baylor played a team that fired their coach mid-season, they got upset by TCU the week they fired Patterson.
Coaching bump. Even though I don't think the players hated Gundy. Usually a coaching bump is after players hate a coach. Right? Get worked up with the coach, be like, he's the problem, and they get out there and prove it. I don't think the players were necessarily there with Gundy. But rallying cry, This is also going to be the most forgotten team in Oklahoma State history.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are literally 1-year rentals. Like, they are all of them. All of them are bye-bye next year. You think you're ever going to see Haas Haney play in an Oklahoma State uniform again? No. Oh, my God.
No.
I'll be telling my kids about the legacy, the legendary story of that one quarter against UT Martin.
That first quarter against UT
Martin. And he was just off into the sunset.
We've got some Sooner fans in here saying Jimmy Johnson is available if you want to go out and hire him.
Jimmy Johnson and Pat Jones, run it back.
Jim Traber could be interested in the job.
Oh my God.
Oh man, it's I always thought he would just retire, right? I think everyone thought that, but things Teabag just got so bad that this is the only outcome. Outside of him agreeing to retire at the end of the season, this was the only outcome that was ever going to happen.
I'm getting like emotional attacks, like kind of when I think about it. Like that was like a real like, oh my God, this did happen, didn't it? Because every time I thought about Mike Gundy not being the head coach, it's like I always envisioned, I looked at my phone and I had a notification that Mike Gundy has resigned. And I'm like, damn, man. Like, all right, like he kind of just surprised us, like a Bob Stoops, like literally like a
Yeah.
Bob Stoops. Like that's how I always envisioned it.
Right off into the sunset.
Right on. Yeah, he's gonna finish with a 9-3 record. Be like, if there's a good young team coming up, and I got a good assistant coach to hand it off to. Nope.
Yeah.
Not the way.
That is
not the way it went.
Nope.
Which sucks. Which sucks.
Yeah.
Like that's the shittiest part. And no matter if you're a Gundy fan, not a Gundy fan, and I'm talking to OSU fans, and this I even relates to OU fans. So I know those OU fans are Gundy fans and not Gundy fans. But OSU fans, if you're a Gundy fan or not Gundy fan, like you have to admit, this sucks. Like that he's going out this way. Like what a crash of an ending.
Yeah.
Oh, horrible.
Yeah. No, not good. Not good at all. All right, anything else on the Gundy and Oklahoma State front that we might have missed before we move on to other stuff?
I've got a lot, Preston, but
let's hear it. Let's hear it.
No, I can't think. Number one, I can't think of it right now. Like
all right, well,
in like an hour, I'll be texting you, like, "Hey, we need to go live again." Like, I got so.
We'll swing back.
We do need to move on to the next story because Boomer F and Sooner on Facebook, he reminded us a couple minutes ago.
John Mateer broken.
More big news, which would be a dominant storyline today.
Yeah, no, 100%.
It's crazy that this is a second fiddle story. Like it's crazy.
This is taking a back seat to Mike Gundy, but John Mateer. Depending where you're looking, Heisman front runner. Through 3-4 weeks in college football. He's broken a bone in his hand. He's expected to be out about a month. Now that could be 3 weeks. That could be 6 weeks. Like Boomer F and Sooner says, they say, I bet Mateer is out at least 8 weeks. You don't really know until tomorrow. After the surgery, you can kind of know a little bit more of the timeline. But I can bet you every dollar that's in my wallet right now, T-Bag, that he's going to try and do whatever it takes to play against Texas here in a couple of weeks.
He's going to try.
I don't know if he's going to be able to, but he's going to try. Yeah. I think he misses Texas. I think he misses obviously next week. Probably misses Texas, and we'll see about South Carolina after that.
No, this one isn't as egregious because this one probably has a lot more of a realistic and like logical answer. But Wendy Fingers once again, Preston. You're telling me they're just now realizing he needs surgery on a Tuesday? Why didn't they do this on Sunday?
Exactly.
Like that's the part. Like if it's like, hey, every second matters with this injury for him to make the Texas game. Like, why was this decision made today? Like that's the part I'm confused about.
And I mean, honestly, the only thing I don't know what goes into like fixing a broken bone in your hand. I can't imagine that it's like, they're going to put like steel plates or something in the hand, right? So I don't know, what goes into that or anything, but I got to think it's just like the incisions have to heal up and stuff like that. And then he might be good to go out. Like he might be a little bit sore, but put some shots in his hand or something at this point.
You can't throw a ball though if your hand's done.
That is true. That is very true.
There's no way. Like when you're laying on your side, does this ever happen to you?
Oh yeah.
When you're laying on your side and your arm goes down, and you like try to pop a knuckle or like pick up your phone and like you just can't do
nothing.
It. Yeah. It's just nothing.
So yeah, I truly don't know. And I mean, there's not really going to be any more, stuff that comes out until after the surgery tomorrow. And I bet probably don't really even know anything until like next week. When Brent Venables,
You think? I mean, there's it's OU Texas coming up. You think anything's getting out those doors? No, we're not going to know until like kickoff of that game. What I will say, and this, if you're an OU fan, you're like, oh no, because it's going to suck. If you come out of this 5-1 and he's healthy by South Carolina. You take that.
Oh, 100%.
As long as he's healthy by South Carolina. I know it would suck maybe losing. I think he could still beat Texas if Michael Hawkins has improved and he has 2 weeks to prepare in that defense. Like I think Arch Manning's not very good. I think it's possible.
And here's the other thing, T-Bag, is Arch has never played in the Cotton Bowl, and this is going to sound like the biggest loser talk ever, but it's kind of true when it comes to Oklahoma and Texas. Arch has never played in the Cotton Bowl. Michael Hawkins has played in the Cotton Bowl.
And that's fair. And he's
Yeah.
gonna have 2 weeks to prepare. Like they're gonna prepare him as QB1, even if Mateer's playing. Like Michael Hawkins is gonna be preparing as QB1 for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or 3 weeks, however long until the Texas game is now.
Someone did also mention, is Arbuckle going to ramp up the RPO? You bet your ass he is. Michael Hawkins might run the football 40 times.
Yeah, because at that point, like, hey, if it's you, I'm not wishing injury on Hawkins, so I don't want to be insistent when I say this, but they're going to be thinking it's like, yeah, if he gets hurt, I mean, not John. John's going to be back in a week.
Plus, it's like
again,
maybe
as long as you have, because I wouldn't bet on OU beating Texas with Michael Hawkins. I think they have a chance. I don't think it'd be like 2022 or anything, or even last year. We kind of just knew going into like, probably not today. I think OU would have a chance. But I think if you were to tell an OU fan right now, hey, you're going to have him back by South Carolina, but you're going to lose to Texas, or you can beat Texas and you don't know when he's going to return, because there is a chance that this is a 5 or 6 week injury. There is a chance. Of that.
100%.
That's the thing. So I think right now you'd sign up and be like, all right, just have him back by South Carolina, because you're still in the playoff fight, and OU is a potential playoff team.
I'm taking beat Texas any day of the week. I'll tell you that right now.
See, that's whenever I said like when you think about the logistics, it's like probably, but then like you think about the fan, it's like no, like beat Texas.
Well, and
matters.
And let's be honest, South Carolina aren't like barn, world beaters this year.
Yeah.
Right?
OU could probably win that game like 3-0.
Yeah.
If they really put their heart and soul
exactly.
on defense, they probably could win that game 3-0.
So even if he misses, South Carolina, you beat Texas with Michael Hawkins, you roll into South Carolina. Look, if you can go and win in the Cotton Bowl against Texas, you can go and win anywhere in the country, in any stadium. Right. I mean, that's just facts. So
it's going to be interesting to see how much he's developed. I mean, I guess Kent State, we're not going to really get to know a lot, but if we watch him against Texas, it's going to be interesting to see how much he's developed.
Do want to see
because if he has big improvement, even if OU loses, if he has big improvement, you can be like, hey, if Mateer leaves for the NFL, we've got our guy next year.
Definitely want to see him like throw the ball, be what
he
can
do
run. Downfield, stuff like that. No, 100%. He'll be able to get off and run and all that stuff. So not too worried about that. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, like I said, I don't think we'll know anything until like Brent Venables does his weekly press conference next week, like for the Kent State game. Like they're just not going to tell anyone, like T-Bag said, because they do have Texas coming up. They did release the schedules for the next 4 years in the SEC. I'll be honest with you, I haven't really looked at that because there's been other news today that's been more important, so we can break that down at a later date.
But did they release scheduling or just
no, they did the whole entire SEC schedule until 2029, so the next 4 years.
Let me look at OU's. Hold on,
they go to Georgia next year.
Oh wow.
They go to Florida next year as well. I do know that. So they've got a tough road schedule. Oh, plus add in at Michigan too.
Dude, they still don't play Arkansas next year?
No, it'll be the year after that. 2027 they play Arkansas.
And then they don't go to Arkansas until 2029. That sucks, man.
Yeah.
Like if I was an OU fan, I'd really want to get a trip. I mean, that's an awesung college town.
Fayetteville's a blast.
It's an amazing college town. That's a short drive away. Like that'd be the road trip. If I was an OU fan, I'd want Fayetteville on my schedule every year or every other year as a permanent rival.
They call it Fayette Chill for a reason.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great place. It's so beautiful. Great fans too. They're nice as can be.
Dixon Street, I believe is what they call it there in Fayetteville. So
I mean, ask Baker Mayfield all about it.
He knows all about it. All right. Any last thoughts that you've come up with on Mike Gundy before we put a bow on this thing? And I guess, I mean, it's still going to be talked about for the next couple of days, but move on in a sense and start looking forward.
I feel better a lot. A lot better, Preston. I'm not going to lie. I found out about the news, called people, fell asleep for about an hour. I was like, I need at least an hour of sleep. Somehow fell asleep for about an hour because I was mentally drained. Woke up, went to the gym, did legs, credit me, and listened to Chad Weiberg's press conference and came home and was ready to talk to you. And then I had to wait another hour. I had so many thoughts on my mind, if you cannot tell. I was about to explode.
It looks like a man that's seen some things today.
I feel after I feel calm and I feel better and I feel like I just let out a lot of demons. I really do.
How long until they name the field? It's Boone Pickens Stadium at Mike Gundy Field, or Mike Gundy Field at Boone Pickens Stadium when they put the statue up. How long until that happens?
I mean, it should have been like 3 years ago.
But now,
it feels like it should be like do it now.
Do you think within the decade it happens? For sure.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Because this feels like something that
I think this might need at the latest 2027 at the latest.
Yeah,
maybe a season of them being away from each other.
And I don't know. I'm surely they already have the statue already like being made and stuff like that and all that. So it's not like that's going to be.
It's got to be Gundy Field. Like I think that's more important than a statue, in my opinion. Like Gundy, I mean, statues live forever. I mean, they're both equally important, but like Gundy Field is something you could do right now because like the field, it's Boone Pickens Stadium, but the field isn't named.
Yeah,
and there's no reason it should not be Gundy Field.
I did have one more thing I want to bring up. This is from Brett McMurphy. It has to do with one of our colleagues actually at the Sports Animal. Let's see. He says, Brett McMurphy of On3 says, I asked Cale Gundy, former Oklahoma assistant and Mike Gundy's younger brother, if Mike wants to continue coaching. Gundy said, hell yes, and I'm going with him. So coming to a sideline near you, the Gundy brothers.
I'm going to be the biggest fan. I am going to be the biggest fan of all time.
No, Cale, like I've worked with him a few times now. He's a great guy. So that would be awesome. And you know what would be really, really awesome is if they just went to like a high school here in the Oklahoma City Metro and coached at like a 6A school or like a 5A school here in the Oklahoma City Metro.
Oh,
that would be electric.
UCO?
Look, I would support that. I like what we've got going on right now at head coach, but you know, if Mike Gundy's like, hey,
no, I'm saying like offensive coordinator and wide receiver, co-offensive coordinators, the Gundy brothers.
That would be pretty cool. Be must see television. Yeah, Harry says Midwest City. They could go back to their alma mater. Someone else says Choctaw could use a new head coach. But just talk about, I mean, you riding off into the sunset coaching high school football. Like you go there, high school is not going to make you do a damn thing except show up to coach football. It's not like you're going to go teach a social studies class or anything like that.
You know what we're going to have to do, Preston?
What's that?
Whenever Mike and Cale are coaching somewhere else, me and you are just going to have to like text Cale one day, be like, hey, we came to the game. Like, want me and then like just like start, rubbing elbows and then at the Gundy household afterwards for some late night drinks. And find out really what happened on this day.
I know.
Truthfully, get to the bottom of what happened on this day. Me and Preston will.
Look, I'm not ashamed to say that would be something that I would be interested in. Right. So we'll see. I think there's a lot left for Mike Gundy, whatever he wants to do. Maybe television. Maybe that's he decides that he wants to do a once a week talk show with Jim Traber. Who knows? I think hell would freeze over before that happened, but I think that would be pretty awesome. So we'll see. And then on the Oklahoma front with John Mateer, who the hell knows? Just give it a week or so, and we'll find out more information, I assume. So, all right, is that it? I think that might be so. all I got off the top of my head. So,
I think so.
What's crazy is if Cale didn't get fired from Oklahoma, I wouldn't put it past the University of Oklahoma to say, hey, Mike, we know that you need a job. You want to come here and just be like an assistant?
It's been a fear of mine. that even when he was at his prime in like 2015, it's like if Bob Stoops retires, You know,
No, he's too
it's always just been in the
Oklahoma
back of my
State.
mind.
Yeah,
It's
he's
always
too
just been in the back
Oklahoma
of my
State through
mind
and
that
through, yeah.
he grew up an OU fan.
Well, you never know. You never
You
know.
never know.
And it also is a shame that Nick Saban retired because Mike Gundy would have been awesome at the Nick Saban school of reborn again head coaches.
Mike Gundy as an offensive analyst and works his way up to OC.
Yeah, that would be
amazing.
quite the thing, but we're not going to get that, unfortunately. So, all right, that's going to do it for us. We will talk to you guys later. Have a good one, everyone. See you.